It's going to be Christmas celebration for a lot of the F1 drivers. And so what we thought for a video today would be the top 10 greatest gifts that the F1 drivers or teams have received from Santa in the 2024 season. And guys, make sure you stay for the top 3 because they are very, very interesting.
Coming in at 10th place is Lewis Hamilton's win at Spa, when George Russell actually crossed the line first, but his car was deemed underweight and therefore he was disqualified from the Grand Prix, meaning that Lewis Hamilton was elevated to first and got his second victory of the season. But Lewis Hamilton was the one that was being sabotaged, right? Food for thought.
George Russell lost that Belgian Grand Prix, but he did win one before that in Austria. He's in at 9th place for the Austrian Grand Prix victory when Norris and Verstappen collided. Santa was generous with Russell then. He wasn't so generous with him in Belgium.
At number 8, we have Charles Leclerc's victory at Texas, where Lando Norris left the whole of the first corner open for Max Verstappen. And who was the one to capitalize? Charles Leclerc. He went on to dominate that race. And I mean, we've seen what Santa wears. He's very clearly part of the Tifosi.
Well, clearly Santa Claus must be a member of the Tifosi and an Italian man, because in number 7, we have Carlos Sainz winning the Australian Grand Prix. And how did he win it? Because Max Verstappen had a brake failure, and this was the first time that Max Verstappen retired from a race in 2 years. And funnily enough, the last time he retired from a race 2 years ago was at the Australian Grand Prix. So clearly it was a gift. Now yes, Sainz did overtake Verstappen before the brake failure, but who knows what would have happened had Verstappen's car been absolutely perfect for the whole race. Remember, Max Verstappen was looking to equalize his own record set by himself. 10 race victories in a row.
Now, Mr. Claus, me and you, I think, would get along very well. Because at number 6, we have Leclerc's win at Monza. Gifted to him not just by Santa Claus, but by Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris and the McLaren strategy team. At the start of the race, it looked like Charles Leclerc was going to have 2 McLaren drivers to have to handle. But it didn't work out that way, as they were busy fighting in the first lap, and Charles Leclerc took advantage. Once he was in second place, he took advantage of his incredible tyre whispering to overtake both of them through not taking another pit stop, while the McLaren drivers tried to go for a 2-stop. Now, I promise you guys, this isn't the only time you're going to see the McLaren strategy team come up on this list as gift givers.
In at 5th place, he lost out in Monza, but Lando Norris has made it onto the list with his first victory in Miami. And who does he have to thank? Not only himself, of course, but he has to thank Kevin Magnussen and Logan Sargent and the name of the safety car man. Who's the name of the safety car? Verstappen had floor damage here. Then there was a crash between Magnussen and Logan Sargent. And then Lando Norris had a free pit stop that brought him out ahead of Verstappen. He was ahead of him before, but that free pit stop gave him free air, first place with 20 or so laps to go. Bam. Lando Norris gets his first Miami win, and we think we can have a title challenge on our hands for the 2024 season. Did we?
No, we didn't, because at 4th is the exact reason why McLaren couldn't sustain an actual Drivers' Championship battle. We have Lewis Hamilton's win at Silverstone, where they decided to go onto medium tyres. Why? Because Lewis went on to medium tyres. It was the wrong decision. Lando Norris dropped from 1st to 3rd. Earlier on in the race, Oscar Piastri was looking quicker than Lando Norris. So what did McLaren do? Leave him out on a wet track on dry tyres. He went on to lose 15 seconds while everyone else changed their tyres.
Podium time. And who's made it onto podium? Max Verstappen at 3rd place. His wet weather drive in Brazil. One of the most legendary wet weather drives in F1 history. Now, we're not taking anything away from Max Verstappen's stellar drive in Brazil. What we are saying with the gift in place for Max Verstappen was the fact that he decided to risk it, stay out, knowing there was going to be a red flag, like George Russell, but unfortunately his Mercedes team didn't listen to him. Max Verstappen said, I'm staying out, I know there's going to be a red flag. What happened? The red flag came and we got to witness history in the making. And generally when we look back at this race again, we can only stand up and applaud. And that's why, Max Verstappen, you do not get 1st place. You get 3rd.
So much like Sergio Perez, I wasn't good enough to do number 1. So here's number 2. McLaren's Constructors' Championship win, gifted to them by Sergio Perez. It's quite pitiful I have to do this as a Ferrari fan, but Sergio Perez gifted McLaren their first championship since 1998 due to his sheer incompetence as a second driver. Now, this doesn't take away from the hundreds of people that work for McLaren. You guys have bounced back from a horrible start to the 2023 season and made your car a real competitor. But if we're being completely honest, if the man that just lost his job was at least half decent last season, they would have won the Constructors' Championship. I'm never talking about McLaren again. This is over, guys.
And what I realised is that Max Verstappen did actually come first in Luther and I's top 10 greatest gifts from Santa Claus for the 2024 season. And of course, why wouldn't he? He went on to claim his 4th title in a row. A rare feat, not done by many drivers, but he did it. Now what we are saying here, again, taking nothing away from his brilliance. This was his greatest ever season, greatest ever title. But guys, it must be mentioned that he had the worst title challenger of all time. Lando Norris gifted him the title. Verstappen won it in the 3rd fastest car. Not since 1983, when Nelson Piquet won the Drivers' Championship, despite his team Brabham finishing 3rd in the Constructors, and his teammate finishing 5 of the 15 races, have we seen a driver like Verstappen do it the same with Red Bull. So what does that tell me? That tells me and Luther, F1 Unfiltered, that the greatest gift from Santa Claus in 2024 was Lando Norris in disguise, as he gave Max Verstappen his 4th title in a row and allowed Verstappen to join the elite company of drivers to have won the title 4 years in a row.
I always thought that Zach Brown looked like Santa Claus, because McLaren were feeling very, very giving this year, and it all stems with at the top. They appeared on this list a lot, but guys, those were our biggest gifts of the 2024 season, and you know what? The entire 2024 season was a gift, because Formula One really was back, and I'm glad that we got to experience the first season of F1 Unfiltered with you through what was such a magnificent season of Formula One. Hopefully we have more of that in the next season. Don't worry, we're still going to be recording stuff. You can expect our New Year's resolution video come out soon as well. So we look forward to that. Be tuned in. If you aren't subscribed already, subscribe. If you are subscribed, we love you. Follow us on our socials. You can see them up here on the background. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. This is all self-funded, so if you could give us a super thanks, we really would appreciate it, guys. Next season, Ferrari will be giving out corn.